I subscribe to a meal service, one of those like the food boxes where they send it to you, like all of the ingredients. And I'm gonna start cooking up some of my favorites for you guys. So today, as unusual as it sounds, we're going to do pork and pineapple tacos. It is super weird, but is seriously one of my new favorite meals. It really caught me off guard. So we're gonna make that. All right. So let's start by showing my ingredients. Almost like we have a production budget. We do not. Okay, so they sent me this Southwest spice blend. It's got garlic, chili powder, and cumin in it. Pineapple, of course, a single red onion, some sour cream, a clove of garlic. They actually send it by the head. So if I have one single recipe in my box of 3 to 5 recipes that uses garlic, they send me one entire head. If all of my recipes use garlic, they send me multiples if they think that I'll need it. We have a lime, a jalapeno, some ground pork, and some flour tortillas. So to get started a little bit, I want to clear this space off. Off, I said. Is anyone cooking along with me? Sebastian, we don't need your help. Can you please? Sebastian, God. Get out, get out, get out. Okay. So, to start off with, I actually want to go through and read the instructions for you so you know what to expect as we go. First step is wash and dry all produce. I've actually already done that step. Zest and quarter the lime. Peel and finely chop the garlic. Thinly slice half the jalapeno into rounds, removing ribbed seeds if you prefer less heat. Halve, peel, and thinly slice onion. Drain the pineapple. Ooh. My light just made a noise and it really caught me off guard. Sorry. Halve, peel, thinly slice onion. Drain pineapple. Oh, hey, how you doing, Linkster? Drain pineapple. Okay, so pretty straightforward for a step one. In a small bowl, as I say these things, I remember that I need these things, so I run off and get my small bowl. Combine the sour cream, a squeeze of lime juice, a pinch of garlic, 1 tablespoon of water, salt, pepper, and as much lime zest as you like. In a separate bowl, combine the jalapenos, a 1/3 cup of onions, a squeeze of lime juice, half a teaspoon of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Step 3, heat a large drizzle of oil in a large pan over medium-high heat. Add remaining onions, a pinch of salt and pepper. Cook, stirring. I guess I don't need to go through every single detail. Add the pork, the spice, more salt and pepper. Break up the meat as you go. Stir in the pineapple and the remaining garlic. And then cook until browned and fragrant. While that cooks, warm your tortillas. And then divide the tortillas between plates, fill with pork mixture, pickled veggies, lime crema, and any remaining lime wedges. So those are our instructions. So let's get started. As I say, I've already washed and dried my produce. So let's get going with the fun stuff. Now, they send me garlic, and like fresh garlic is well and good and all, but it's a huge pain in the ass. And like the recipe calls for a single clove of it, and that's, never enough. So I always check my recipes beforehand. If it says that I need to peel and finely chop it, I just use a massive jar of pre-minced garlic instead. But for the sake of authenticity, I'm going to show you how I would prepare this. Now, you can take your time and peel the paper off of this and do it the hard way, but if we're going to be cutting it up anyway, just crush it, and the paper comes off super easy. So, boom, done. The ingredients come in a box in the mail, and in that box there's a smaller box that actually has the ingredients in it. I like to keep that box here at my workstation as I work, so I have somewhere to put my trash, like garlic paper and the little bit at the end that I don't want to use. So I might as well actually chop this up. I am using a massive knife. And as I have stated in some of my other Cooking with Silent videos, I have atrocious knife skills. So, I'm sorry. Oh, sneaky one. But you're just going to have to deal with it. So I'm going to do a very rough chop on this. I am going to be, like, quadrupling the amount of garlic. Oh my god. Just get out of here, you stupid paper. I'm going to be quadrupling the garlic once I actually start cooking with it, so yeah. Just go with that. It actually starts with the lime, according to the instructions. This is my zester. If you guys have never used lemon or lime zest, do it. Seriously. Like, I had never really paid attention to doing that stuff before, but since I started using this meal kit, like, I never knew how amazing lemon and lime zest were, and now it turns out, like, why haven't I been doing this the entire time? Sebastian agrees. Why haven't I been doing this the entire time, he asks, in his cat way. So, I don't know, there's probably a better way to do this. I think most of the time you hold this thing the other direction and zest directly into your bowl or whatever. But I like doing it upside down like this because it means I don't have to use another bowl. I just hold all of it right here. I need to keep my hands lower. I'm like half paying attention to my camera here. Be careful as you're doing this. Take it easy. Go slow. Don't get too vigorous. You don't want to accidentally zest your hand. Yeah, so there we go. Fully zested because, as I mentioned, I love lime zest. I wonder now if it would be more beneficial in future videos to have the camera set up on the other side of my cutting board because I am left-handed. But it's too late now. Alright. Zest and quarter lime, done. Peel and finely chop garlic, thinly slice half the jalapeno. Now, I often ask Dice how spicy he wants the meal. Generally, he goes for a little bit spicy, depending on what it is. Because this is tacos, and we are celebrating Taco Tuesday, we might go a bit hotter than usual. So I am actually going to cut this entire thing, because I like it. And I will remove some of the ribs and seeds, but not all of them. A jalapeno on its own, like the outside green part of it, isn't that bad. Like, you can eat that and be fine. Most of the heat of a jalapeno does come in the ribs and the seeds of it. So, if you don't like spicy, remove all of it and use just that outside rim. If you do like spicy, just, leave all of it there. Did I start with that one? I don't think I did. Man. So I've been thinking about doing a cooking style show like this for a while. And I don't know. Like, I kept coming up with excuses for not doing it, not having the motivation, this, that, and the other. But, like, if not now, when? I guess never if I'm not planning on doing it. But never is not a fun answer. So, you know what? I'm doing it. And so here we are, cooking with Silent. Making these kind of gnarly tacos. Hey, Masarian, how you doing? Welcome. So this is what I'm doing. These are ginormous, so I'm actually going to cut some of these bigger rings in half. just so they fit better on the tacos. I also have a terrible habit of like super crowding my cutting board. And normally I don't keep the actual zester on it, but you know, we're doing that today. Hey Akia, how you doing? Yeah, we're cooking today. I think what I might do is would anyone actually want to actively cook with me? Because this isn't going to be edited as we go, you guys legitimately could. And that was kind of my thought. So yesterday I tweeted, if you don't follow my Twitter, I don't blame you at all. I wouldn't either. But yesterday I tweeted, and I can come up with other methods as well if you guys want to hear it, saying that I was doing this, and I posted all of the ingredients. If I gave you more time, like a week or so in advance, would you guys actually buy the ingredients and cook this with me? I realize 6:30 might be kind of a weird time. It's 6:30 here. Well, it's actually 6:43 here. I don't know where everyone else is, and it might be, like, if someone's in mountain time, they're not going to want to start cooking dinner at 4:30. So I guess I can't really blame you there. And these will end up on YouTube, too. Like, if I end up making this and you're like, wow, that actually does look good. I never expected pork and pineapple tacos to work out well. But then you want to try it? Like, all of these will end up on YouTube, too. Yeah, so... Supper time is an hour ahead? As in, you've already ate about an hour ago? Man. I can't... Like, an hour ago, I was still at work. I have been watching Binging with Babish lately, which might be part of why I decided to kick this off. Babish is actually... His hometown is Rochester, the same place where I live now. So, that's been a little bit fun watching that. Oh, gosh. My atrocious knife skills, guys. 5 Central? That's bonkers. I guess you do have the little one. Having some kind of, routine probably helps with her. Okay. I'm keeping the roots on my onion, and that helps hold it together as I am slicing it. So I can do just like the little cuts like this. Eventually I'll get around to the side that you guys can see. And it makes it way easier. And when I'm not trying to be conscientious of where the camera is, I can just like hold it together a little bit better. So it remains easier to slice. But when I'm paying attention to where the camera is, that's hard to do. I also don't usually use a giant knife like this, but it's easier to crush open the garlic when you have a bigger knife. Tiny mouth. I have difficulty believing, Masarian, that anyone that can come from you can be a tiny mouth. As in, like, big mouth talking lots of stuff. I didn't mean anything rude by that. Okay. So, let's see. Next step is draining the pineapple. Now, we don't actually need the juice for this. So, when I drain the pineapple, I always drain it directly into a glass. And if I'm feeling nice, I'll give that glass to Dice. But usually I'll just drink it on my own, and he'll never know. He might now. Atlantic time. Where are you? Like, I always... What's there? Anyway. So, we have these peeled. Now, once I finish the step, because I have them broken up into different steps, I like going through and rereading and making sure that I didn't miss anything. Wash and dry all produce. Too late now if I didn't. Zest and quarter lime. Peel and finely chop garlic. Thinly slice half the jalapeno, which I have done all of it. Into rounds, removing ribs and seeds if you prefer less heat. Halve, peel, and thinly slice onion. Drain pineapple. Cool. So they have a little note here, save the juice for adding to cocktails or smoothies. Hey Slayer, how you doing? Okay, now we are moving on to step 2. In a small bowl, where did I put my bowls? In a small bowl, combine the sour cream, and it comes with the little 1 ounce package of sour cream. Did that see? Yeah, cool. So far, everything that I've used, like with the exception of the bowl and the zester and the cutting board, all of the ingredients that I've used so far have been in the box. I chose the recipes and they send them to me, and they're usually like a dozen recipes or so every week, and they have a really good variety. There's usually at least 1 or 2 vegetarian options, which I like to get one of those every now and then. It is a tiny baby sour cream. I have made this recipe with ingredients that I've bought as opposed to things that have been mailed to me, and I used way more sour cream. Which is another benefit to the food box, by the way. Portion control is a problem for me, and this kind of forces me to eat the right portion size, so that's pretty useful to me. Alright, a squeeze of lime juice. I interrupted myself. I don't even remember what I was saying, but it doesn't matter. So... Don't hurt yourself while squeezing your limes. It says a squeeze of lime juice. Now, I know we're going to be using more later on, and by later on, I mean later in the same step, but I like it really limey. So I use half for this and half for the other, and then I don't have any leftover wedges at the end, which is fine because it's already in the meal. So, fortunately, Dice has never argued with my lemon or lime usage. So he's really the only one that I would have to worry about for that. Oh, right, I was talking about the options. Yeah, so several options, including vegetarian. They don't go like full vegan or anything, but you could probably make it. Another cheat that I use, I'm putting garlic in here. Now, I've already mentioned that if I'm using, or if I need the minced garlic, I use the jar of it, and I very rarely slice my own. But when I'm putting it in a sauce like this, I use garlic seasoning instead, because it mixes easily. And I probably use way more than a clove worth when I do that, too. I didn't bring any spoons. I'm actually going to do 1 spoon and 1 fork. Oh, this gets the lime zest as well. I use all of it. These recipes are pretty good if it says to use not the entire amount of something. Like if they say, use 1 teaspoon of your Southwest spice or whatever. They're pretty good at saying after the fact, you'll be using more later, if you are. So because they don't say anything about you'll be using more lime zest later, it means I can use all of it. So, now I am going to add a little bit of water to this. I have water right here. Usually I go straight from the fridge, but, ooh. I also never measure. Like that, could have been about a tablespoon of water. But it's a crema. It's supposed to be a little on the watery side. This is a lot on the watery side. But it'll be fine. I'm not worried. Okay. Now in a different bowl, I combine my jalapeno. A third of a cup of onion. I don't know how much a third of a cup is. I'm just going to take like that much and break it up. They say you can refrigerate or freeze your onions before slicing them to avoid tearing up. Sometimes I do it. Oh, hey, Raharu. Welcome. Sometimes I do. This is a red onion. I think red onions aren't quite as strong when it comes to making you tear up, and I think it's because like I'm not as fond of them, so I don't need to cry as much when I murder them. Who knows? Hard to say. All right. This gets the rest of our lime. You know what I probably should have done? Is used 3 lime wedges in this because I used the entire jalapeno as opposed to half, like they said. Maybe I'll get a little wild and I'll supplement with some lemon juice because I don't have any more lime juice. Just a little. We are quick pickling here, so. Vidalia onions are my favorite. Like, hands down, those win. But for something like this, I can see the merits of red onion. They do look really nice. So they win there, even though they aren't quite as bright red when they've been cooked. But that's okay. So I'm also adding a pinch of salt and pepper. I have my little pepper grinder here. It's tiny compared to, like, the professionals, but it gets the job done. And I have a matching salt shaker. However, like, the bottom doesn't like to stay on it. Oh, my sugar's over here. I already brought it over. The bottom doesn't like to stay on it, and so I'll be in the middle of cooking something, and then suddenly there's no salt in the shaker, and it's all over the counter. That's way more than the half teaspoon, but that's okay. So in this one, I've combined the jalapenos, a third a cup of onions, a squeeze of lime juice, half a teaspoon of sugar, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Then I give that a mix, and I set it aside to quick pickle. All right. Next up, we're moving over to the stove. So, we're going to pretend once again we have a production budget, and I'm going to switch over here so you don't see the actual act of moving this. You just get to see me set my webcam on my stove. Let's see how my aim is. Oh, nice. So here's my very, very, very sad saucepan. It used to be non-stick. It has seen some use. I'm pretty sure I bought this in Texas when I lived there, which means it's like 8 years old or something. But that's okay. It's been holding up pretty well. I feel like the next step in my expanded kitchen is going to be getting a new set of saucepans, though. Because this poor thing. Okay. So I've just added a drizzle of olive oil. A large drizzle of olive oil, according to the sheet. I just realized I didn't put salt and pepper in my crema. I'm doing that off screen. You guys can't see it, but I'm doing it. Trust me. And I mixed it up. Okay, that's all you missed. I guess I could have brought the bowl over here. Whatever. Okay. So, I'm going to heat this over medium-high heat. And once it's nice and toasty, oh god, my hands are cold. This feels really nice. Ooh, sorry about that. Once it's nice and toasty, next step is going to be adding the remainder of the onion. So that will be my next step once this is nice and warm. Oh. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around. But that's okay. That's okay. We are learning as we go. You guys are learning how to cook, and I'm learning how to stream how to cook. Okay. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and dump my onion in. It didn't sizzle. That means it's not actually hot. There it goes. It's a delayed reaction. Okay. I have my little bamboo spatula thingy here. This one's my favorite. It's high enough quality that it's not splintering, and it's low enough quality that it's not super expensive. And I like the shape of it because it's good for doing stuff like this. And it's also good for later. It's got that edge. It's going to be good for helping break up that pork. That, I don't want to become famous, but thank you. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Thanks. Man, I'm really glad I brought Cat back up. Okay, so I'm going to cook these until they're soft. That's about 4 to 5 minutes or so. I wonder, I have this little surface light here. Does it make a difference? Right now I have it the brightest it goes. Oh, it actually does make a difference. Okay, we'll keep it on. Every light in my kitchen is on right now. And that's okay. Oh, salt and pepper. So for this particular recipe, and it shows you on the front of the card the things that you will need to provide yourself. In this case, it was salt and pepper, of course, oil for the cooking, and sugar for the onions and the jalapenos that were quick pickling. Can you guys hear me okay? I just realized I don't know if it's my webcam mic that I'm using or my laptop mic. And if it's the laptop mic, that one's way over there. And if it's the webcam, that one might hear nothing but sizzles. So let me know. How do I sound? Thank you. Another thing that I have learned for in the future when I do this, I should put my glasses on because it is a bit of a struggle to read chat from all the way over here. So right now, because I'm streaming and I'm paying attention to you guys, like my focus is on these onions. But when I'm doing this just on my own, uh-oh, did we lose the stream? That's cool. Huh. I'm just gonna keep going. But what I am going to do is take pictures along the way. Did that update correctly too? Yeah. Have I lost internet? Oh my god. says I'm still streaming here. Am I? This is a disaster, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if OBS has crapped the bed or if my internet has. Actually, yeah, this is still saying that I have internet. So, man, this is like awful content though. Ooh. Oh, hi. OBS is working again. Oh, you need ASMR? Okay, cool. Well, that's good. I lost you guys, and I didn't get those messages that you could still hear me until after the fact, so I'm glad you guys could hear me. And this timing has been good, because this is about, it's been about 4 minutes. So what I have been saying is because I'm paying attention to you guys and all of this, my focus is here and I don't have to set a timer. But if I were doing this on my own, then I would. And then I immediately walked away and started ignoring my onions because I thought the the stream had died. So, maybe I should have set a timer. We're lucky that things worked. I'm glad that that continued. The stream did, so you could see my panic. But this is my dedication. Hi, Fly and Parasite. Okay, now that these onions are soft, I am going to add the pork in this very graceful display. I just cut that thing open with a knife. The same knife that I use to cut everything else. I never bother with like the scissors and stuff. Okay, so the pork gets added. The Southwest seasoning will be added. But I want to break this up just a little bit. Okay. And again, it doesn't say anything about, whoop, there we go. It doesn't say anything about using more of that later, so I can just dump all of it in. If you don't want it as much, you can dump less of it in. It is entirely up to you. That's one of the cool things about cooking. Like baking, you have to be pretty precise with your measurements, but cooking, nah. And you guys will see later when I put in my garlic. That never, ever, 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 ever gets measured. And in fact, I don't even use anything to scoop it out. I just dump it in directly from the jar. And however much goes into the pan, goes into the pan. Okay. I am going to give this another bit of oil. Just to keep things nice and lubricated. And we will go from there. Okay. So now we're cooking this. We're going to do another 4 to 6 minutes. And most of the time you do these by eyeball. Especially when raw pork is involved. You can't really taste that to see if it's done. But what you can do is leave some bigger pieces, and when everything else is nicely browned and colored, you can like use the little flat edge of your spatula thingy to like break it open and see how it looks on the inside to see if it's cooked all the way through. That's usually what I do. Okay. So you have this going. It's going well. And it does say while the pork cooks, warm the tortillas. I am going to get super fancy on y'all. Oh yeah, camera angles, guys. I'm super good at this. So, what they recommend is to wrap the tortillas in a damp paper towel and microwave it until it's warm and pliable. But they also give an alternative chef's tip for another way to cook our tortillas, and that's the way that I'm going to use. So I'm going to turn on my other burner here, pretty low. And I'm going to give that a couple seconds to like come up to temperature. I know it's a fire, like it's a gas fire. It's not going to get much hotter, but it gives the time, like the burner itself, to get warmer. So that's what I'm going for. We're stirring our pork. It's starting to look pretty good, nice and well browned. I can still see some pink in there, so obviously we're not ready yet, but it's getting there, and that makes me happy. All right, so let's go crazy with our tortillas. One at a time, just put it directly on the burner. And I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but you know it's time to flip it when you see smoke start to rise. Once the burner is at its like full heat and capacity and it's completely ready to go, I find it takes about 15 seconds. Okay, I can see the smoke. I don't know if you guys can see smoke, but I can see it. And because it's not super warm, God, that is like crazy washed out. You guys can't see it anyway, so I'm gonna say this tortilla is perfect. It's like gorgeously browned and has those tasty char spots. That this one is underdone. I'm just gonna admit it. This side of this one is underdone. There we go. That's more like what we're looking for, though. And because of the shapes of my burners, I usually end up with the two spots. Ooh, oh, there we go. The two spots like that. And that's fine. But it's a good way to get it nice and warm with just that bit of extra flavor in there. And I like doing it that way. But it does require a bit more multitasking, and if you aren't comfortable cooking literally over an open flame like this, use the damp towel, the damp paper towel in the microwave. Oh my gosh. Use the damp paper towel in the microwave too. It's fine. Like, no one's gonna judge you. I certainly won't. I can't speak for the rest of you. That's true. You can't do this on a gas top. But if you have like a little blowtorch, maybe it would work over a lighter. Tortillas. You can see the light of the lighter through it. That's great. Oh, and it made it dark and smoky. Gross. All right. So, no, don't do that. Okay. I think this is looking pretty good. Bring this over. Nice and browned. I can take this piece right here. This is a pretty big one. Cut that in half. I don't see any more pink. So, pardon my shaky cam, we're going to call that portion ready to go. Push this back so we can see my tortilla burning. It's not actually. That one came out perfect. Okay, next step is to stir in the pineapple and the remaining garlic. So I'll stir in this shoddily sliced garlic that I cut up. And believe it or not, between that one clove of garlic and the sprinkle of the garlic sauce, the garlic salt that I used earlier, we are already at more than they recommended, or more than the recipe said. And that's just not enough. So I give my can a shake. My jar. Oh my god, where's my jar? Give it a shake. I'm drizzling juice into it. And then I just dump some in. That looks good. That's how much garlic we're having in this today. Mixing that up. And this is also where we add our pineapple. Just peel the thingy off, dump it in. And we're going to let this go for about a minute. Yep. Whew. That one got nice and toasty. So yeah, we'll let this go for about a minute. And then that's once the garlic is fragrant. And then once that happens, I'll turn off the heat. I'll finish my last 3 tortillas. And then we can get going on the other stuff. I'm going to give my quick pickled veggies another stir here. I'm pretty sure that's, well, I was going to say I'm pretty sure that's not enough onion compared to what they wanted me to use. But then I remembered that I used twice the jalapeno they wanted me to use. So maybe that is right. I just didn't scale up the onion as well. Which is fine, because if it comes to cooked onion like we have in with our pork here, or the raw onion in our quick pickled veggies, I definitely prefer the cooked garlic. Not garlic, onion. I prefer cooked garlic to raw garlic too, now that I think about it. Huh. Alright. So, while my tortillas are going, I will divide them between plates. And usually you can just, throw on whichever ones you want. Funny thing about vampires and garlic. Garlic is actually a natural blood thinner. So, it could be that either vampires don't like garlic because it makes their dinner too soupy, like my lime crema over there, or it could be that it makes humans easier to drink the blood of, and so they try to spread the rumor that vampires don't like garlic to get more humans to eat garlic and thus more deliciousness. So, those are my theories. Alright, so this is what this looks like. And now all we have left are the remainder of my tortillas. This one has just started smoking fitfully. Terrible habit. One nice thing I should say about the way it does these double char marks like this, it's bulging up, is it gives some structural integrity to like those two portions. So it's great for folding the taco. Under normal circumstances, I prefer I prefer hard shell tacos to soft, but we make some exceptions. I turned my burner up, so that's why these are going so much faster. I'm not an exceptionally patient person, as denoted by the fact that I keep taking them off when they haven't had any time at all. Oh my god. I divide my tortillas based on how nice they look. I always give dice the ones that look nicer. Like that one. That one's a good one. You guys didn't see me make that decision. Okay, we are going to move my cutting board and come back over here. where I have my other ingredients. Doop-a-doo. We're not cutting for that one. We're just going right into it. All right. So, let's put this one front and center here. Kind of fold them like this. So you have your nice easy openings to place your filling. Maybe that's why I like them, because it's also a challenge to eat. That doesn't seem right at all. I like a challenge when I'm cooking, questionably when I'm eating. Okay, so we have our pork and pineapple. I kind of smoosh it all to one side of the pan and then like sort of divide it in half. And that's how I kind of estimate my portioning. So this fills 6 tacos, theoretically. Oh gosh, it fell over completely. Oh my gosh. Please stay. Usually I do this adjacent to the stove when I'm not also trying to hold the saucepan, so I can hold the taco shells open. Oh, but here's that challenge when cooking that I said I like. There we go. That worked out. Okay, so... Oh. I'm actually using the camera to judge how filled they are. Okay, so it says divide tortillas between plates, fill with pork mixture, and as many pickled veggies as you'd like. It says to drain them first. I have kind of a weird way that I like to deal with these. So I'll just miss all of it. Oh my gosh. There we go. Let's do that middle one first. I feel like I'm getting the ones with all of the ribs, which I primarily left for Dice, because he likes things spicier than I do. Not that I don't like spicy at all. I freely admit that I am much more of a pansy bitch when it comes to heat. Like spicy heat, not heat. Temperature heat. When it comes to temperature heat, I can handle much better than he can. Possibly the Canadian in him. Okay, so we have our pork, we have our pickled veggies. Before I do the lime, I am going to get these 3 going. There we go. And usually I do everything at once. Like I will put all of the pork and pineapple in the tacos, in all 6 of them. And then I'll do all of the pickled veggies and do it like that. But I wanted you guys to see a more finished product before doing that. I am regretting my decision a little bit. Oh, that's a real terrible angle. Because if it means ooh, that's going to be a nice full one. I have not evenly divided my filling, then I'm going to have to put it on top of the veggies that I've already put in there. But I got pretty close. Just a little more I'm going to put on. They aren't going to be the most picture-perfect things, but they're going to taste phenomenal. And that's the key. Okay. Now let's go in with some pickled veggies. And these are actually, these tacos do not have any cheese in them, which some people might consider like sacrilegious or something. But, like, I know I did. The first time I made them, I'm like, wait, there's no cheese in these? How can you even call them tacos? Sorry, Raharu, if you're listening. But, like, I think they're pretty good on their own. They don't need a cheese. The other flavors complement each other so well that that it's good. It's good. We don't need them. Okay, now I am left with my quick pickling juice here. I've got some jalapeno seeds in there, which I'm a little bit nervous about. But what I like to do with this, ooh, those seeds. Oh, those seeds. Fortunately, I have some pineapple juice to wash it down. Ooh. Tortillas. Okay, now we switch back over and we completely finish plating this with our lime crema. And this did end up a bit more watery, kind of like a human blood when when you've had too much garlic. That was an awful analogy. Cut that. Um. Ooh, totally missed a bit there. But we're pouring. We're trying to approximately evenly distribute. Okay, and there we go. Now, last thing I like to do is read the final instructions one last time. Because it's happened way too many times where I go through all of this work and all of this stuff, and I read that last instruction after we've cleaned up dinner, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to add the slivered almonds, or something like that. So I always like to double check. Divide tortillas between plates. Good. Fill with pork mixture and as many pickled veggies as you'd like. Drizzle with lime crema. And serve with remaining lime wedges on the side. We've already used up all of our lime wedges, so we don't need to do that anymore. So now, all that's left is my favorite part. I'm only going to take one bite with you guys, because this is actually dinner for Dice and me, and we usually watch something on Netflix together while we eat. So here is our final product. It's beautiful. It's dripping, which is how I like my tacos. God, cut that too. It is ready to go. So let's take a bite. Get your hair out of your face. So there's an excellent combination of the sweetness from the pineapple, and like a little hint of like seasoning flavor, stuff like that, without being heat from the seasoning that we put on the pork, and then the jalapenos themselves. Because they've been quick pickled and largely declawed, because I took out most of the seeds and the ribs, they're not too bad. But all in all, it's an excellent combination of flavors. I highly recommend it. And you can serve it with like chips and salsa if you want. But honestly, the 3 tacos is enough to fill me up. I wouldn't expect that it would be, but it is. So give it a try. Again, portion control, yay raw. And there you go. Delicious. So, what kind of recipes do you guys want to see me make? I like these. It says that the prep time is 10 minutes and they're ready in 30 minutes. I've been live for 52 minutes, but I've also been slacking off a lot, so can't really can't really go by that. But yeah, it's still less than an hour to make these. Give me another couple minutes, it's gonna be less than an hour to make and eat them. But it's delicious, it's quick, it's easy. You should give it a try. When this does eventually go on YouTube, I'll make sure to print the ingredients needed, like in the description of the video. Yeah. So there we go. We're done, I guess. Any kind of cooking. I don't blame you. I really enjoy watching cooking videos as well. There's something about them. It's just addictive, and I think it's a large part of why I have gained so much weight is because I watch stuff. I'm like, gosh, that looks really good. I must be hungry, and so I eat. Um, and then I watch more videos. I'm like, gosh, that looks really good. Am I still hungry? And I eat some more. So pro tip, don't do that. um, yeah. And there you go. Happy cooking. Goodbye, loves.